Alright,
Yeah! Oh, wait, no, that's no music. Never mind.
No, yeah, so that music has not changed.
Yeah, I know, I was gonna realize.
Alright. Got it. So we're gonna go. Austin,
Just
copy
your phone, or you want my
copy
iPad?
and paste that to me.
You want my iPad?
Not that I'm just gonna take this. We're gonna take everything up to PG. Honestly, yeah, if you want to grab that, wouldn't be a bad thing. Appreciate that. Copy text.
My iPad.
I'm getting a can't open. You want to try that? Try that link. You try the link that Rob sent you. All right, wait, hold on. The only thing that's sort of new with this system is that we won't be able to see if our camera freezes, which could prove to be a problem. Yeah, so I'll have you turned up more, and I'll be listening for it, but...
We got like 1 minute.
Oh, wait. You got lobby already? Damn, they're really moving today. I mean, that's true. I did ask not terribly nicely to move this thing along. All right. So we're going to go ahead, no illustration for the first one. Let's make sure the music works.
Well, we can do this. Oh, no, we can't.
No, well, we can do it live if we want to, but it's going to be a little rough. Just so you know, we don't...
What we can do, this was Marcus's idea, just circle gold values. Circle bills.
We could, yeah. If we want to see what's next... What I'm going to do...
I think at one point during this game, I want to try and circle gold difference.
Okay. So, that below is what's next. That's what's current.
Okay.
So, I can split it better in the next one. But...
Wait.
So, what's in the background is what's now, and what's in the foreground is what's current. That's
what's
the case.
Foreground? What do you mean?
The
NDI?
one that's black.
NDI?
The NDI source is black.
Okay.
That's what's next. That's what's on deck. That's just in case he has to message us.
Okay. I thought the entire monitor up there was what's next.
It usually is, but I'm running the telestrator down here. And I want to make sure, if I was 100% sure that the telestrator wouldn't just break on us,
I see what you're saying.
I would have it be like that. But
So this teletrader is just on top of that.
indeed. So like he has that on deck, for example. All right, we need to. Do you have your iPad or tablet on you?
I just put it in my mic and grab it.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this game.
Oh, I just told you. Jungler plays game, they don't have very much.
Kane, one trick, Lilia, Swain, Mord.
They only have like,
Okay, and then it's a Jin Jinx player. Got it.
we only have
I mean, if you want to just put it up, like right there. But
you put up.
I was working on D&D stuff instead of putting together a scouting report, so.
That's fine, that's what Marcus wanted me to
I know.
ask you about. He's like, you have the boons yet? You have the boons yet?
Oh, boons are not there yet. I put together the shop.
Don't worry. You want this anything for anything specific?
If you could just put up their op.ggs or something. I'm not really worried about it. I don't think this game's gonna matter regardless.
Well, it's fun to get these games right.
And
It
I'll-
looks... Yeah.
So remove the 386.
No, I said with the numbers. He changed it,
Oh, okay.
I believe.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Student Activity Center, where today we are excited to debut to you your new Central Michigan Chippewas playing against the Akron Zips in some League of Legends. I am Lincoln Dodds, along with my rotating partner, as always, Austin Williams, and we are excited to get into game number 1.
Yes, we are. No, it's not yet. It's slowly loading.
Unless you want me to introduce you like a Flea Flickerman. Like, you know the one guy from the Hunger Games? And your master of ceremony!
Yeah! Well, the camera, the glam bot coming.
Austin Williams.
I'm trying to pace it. Nothing's happening. Do we have to get the stream going at 8?
It's already going.
Okay.
We usually go live like 5 minutes before we actually like get going. Yeah.
Well, because that's what I was just gonna do with this.
You can power it off right now. We don't need it for a little bit. And your master of ceremony, Austin. Formidable foe Akron.
Alright.
Alright, you can send to us whenever.
Why is it having to sign up?
Oh, you gotta look. You might have kind of Discord.
No, I think that's the wrong link. It's the wrong one.
Oh.
I believe. I'm gonna try it. Thing is, I'm already logged in Discord. No, that's true.
Hey. Bro, I'm so excited to see if our draft music actually goes as hard as I think it's going to.
I think it's pretty cool.
I think it could be.
If we can get more stuff going on the screen too, like when the first blood happened, fires explode. Dude, that'd be sick.
The Baron power play.
Baron power play of the match.
No, the Baron power play is just the
Whenever Baron happens.
yeah, it's just whenever a Baron's taken. It's the 3 minutes after a Baron
Oh.
with an active gold counter, which we
It's
can't
always
do.
sponsored by Red Bull.
It is sponsored by Red Bull. We are sponsored by
Genji.
ourselves.
I told Evan about that.
Did you?
Genji.
I don't know if it's actually happening. We'll probably talk to him on Friday about it. And again, it's in my inbox when I get back.
These links are just not doing anything. Copy text. Sorry. Paste. I'm gonna try and delete the numbers. Bro.
It wouldn't be a league stream without them. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a much quieter. Oh, by the way, does the audio sound any better?
Like on our end,
Rob.
from our mics. We put this wall in here.
Well, it makes sense.
It's placebo.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's not really where we're talking at. So.
Do we sound better now, Rob? How about now? Is that currently on air? Like, if I draw this, is currently on air?
Yes, it is currently on air.
So I just drew on it. Okay. Oops. I catch that on stream delay.
And our special edition, as you saw when Austin got a little jumpy.
I drew a little bit.
Okay, that's good. Well, it would go off in 5 minutes. We have stream delay of 5 minutes.
Oh, it's 5 minutes? Oh, well, I'm the
3
only
minutes.
viewer. So.
Hell yeah, bruh.
Wow.
Didn't layer it.
Good job, production.
Hell yeah, production.
Dude. No. What did I say?
Absolutely not. Fire down.
Fire down.
From inside the booth, we have a fire down.
Fire down.
Think about it. I was talking at you and Evan, I would just talk like this directly into the foam wall.
Mm-hmm. That's really good.
Why are you guys looking over to your left? No reason.
Ah!
Yep.
Right.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Student Activity Center here at Central Michigan University. Today, we are excited to bring you some Central Michigan University League of Legends between your Central Michigan Chippewas and the Akron Zips. They are excited for the ability, the privilege to go to playoffs today, and I am Lincoln Dodds, this is Austin Williams, and we are excited to really, hopefully watch them go to playoffs for the first time in program history.
Game number 4 for CMU. I'd be really happy to see a 3-1 record for this collegiate team here.
Yeah, three wins is all you need to go to playoffs this year. It's going to be brilliant. First time. This team is completely new as well. Can't really call them young based on grad year, but they are young in the sense that they haven't been playing for very long. So
yeah, I think the chemistry's there. They've been practicing for preseason, on and off. They've been here at the studio working for this. I mean,
the work ethic from these guys is absolutely insane. They're here at before I get in, which is crazy.
Yes.
They were here at 5, I think, today for this 8 o'clock game. So they have been They've been really working hard. They've been playing. I think Greyson himself, the captain of his team, has been playing almost all day to get ready for this event. So it's going to be a true spectacle to see these guys hopefully progress.
Mm-hmm. And it shows the amount of effort Greyson's putting in. That last game, that Aurora, quite a game to watch. I think he ended up, 11-3, 11-2, something up there. It was a very unstoppable performance there from the mid laner.
It was impressive enough to make me want to play.
Oh, I know.
I went back, played a bunch of games with Aurora, so it was truly exciting. I had to figure out if the champion truly was busted, and Greyson makes it look so easy.
Yeah.
But turning to who has really been the player that we didn't really think was going to be the standout, but he's turned into it, pride himself in the jungle. He has been an absolute buzzsaw for these enemy junglers.
Yes. That is the player to watch, I believe. I mean, if he is on his game, he's just unstoppable. I don't know how any other team can really answer that.
Yeah, definitely. And we're going to see draft phase begin. We see the Rengar, Jax, Milio already out by Akron, and we are going to see the Aurora pick. We see the Jhin by Akron. We do know that they have a very strong Jhin player, so it makes sense. And then Greyson, very bold of them to give him the Aurora after what happened last week.
A lot of priority as we see the CMU Chippewas are on the right side today. And I believe that Akron is on the left.
Akron is on the left.
Yes.
DV has been solid on a lot of champions. I do not believe Jhin is in his champ pool, though.
No, I do believe Misfortune is there, though.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Misfortune is there. I think it's a very comfortable pick, especially against Jhin. That Jhin, he likes his range, but he doesn't quite hold the same candle that Misfortune does in those team fights.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That ult,
very big
brutal.
difference in the ult. Yeah. If that Misfortune can find the correct angle play, CMU can draft a little more controlling champions that can really funnel everyone together for that Misfortune art. CMU could look really strong here. A lot of damage coming from Aurora and the bot lane.
And the Veigar pick. Veigar is an interesting pick into Aurora. He does struggle because Aurora has that ability to go fully invulnerable. Well, not invulnerable, but go full stealth, which is quite difficult. And Aurora, especially early game, really is just a more bursty, more complex version of Veigar. So he's gonna have a tough lane, especially in the early game for somebody who is as strong as Greyson is in lane.
I will say Veigar is kind of a good pick in the idea that normally that Aurora gets really, really strong late game, but that Veigar, he's going to be stacking just right neatly alongside her, I believe.
I was going to say, if they're trying to match, there's a very good reason to try to match with that Veigar, because obviously said late game, and they're both burst mages. No sustain on either one. If you get in the middle of either of them, you're just going to die. But if either of them get in the middle of anybody that's larger than them,
that's it. Glass cannons at heart.
You might as well just take your hands off the keyboard and start looking at that gray screen.
Oh, yeah. And I think Nunu is actually a very comfortable pick. And Krzciok's a pretty good pick to, counteract that kind of play style. That Nunu snowball comes out of nowhere. You don't have flash up. You're stuck. You're done. You're going to get a huge burst of damage coming your way. Krzciok's kind of the same way. If he finds you isolated, you're done.
The true one-on-one specialist. His passive gives the ability to do more damage if you are if there's nobody else nearby, which is pretty solid. And into that Nunu, who do you think is going to win that jungle matchup?
I really want to give it to Krzciok. Early game, Nunu's a little strong because, he's got that bit of HP that makes it a little hard to burst down. But when you're in that 1v1 scenario, Krzciok is just king.
That's true.
I think Krzciok here is a very strong pick, especially if you want to invade potentially. The only kind of downside is that Nunu has a very surprising amount of healing on that queue. If he can find a minion, if he can find a Krug, anything nearby, that's a lot of healing coming his way.
Yeah. CMU going to decide to ban out both of the Hook champions in Thresh and Leona. We're going to see the Akron team decide to ban out Malphite. Makes sense, as Veigar really does not like seeing the mountain going, and same thing with Jhin, really. Actually, all three of the champions they've picked do not really like to see a Malphite. So it's interesting to see. I think they're going to ban another one towards the top lane here in just a second. But one of the things that we haven't really talked about yet is Nunu. It's almost impossible to catch an Aurora as Nunu, because if you snowball and you have W up, you just can't gank.
Be able to get away.
Yeah, you just can't gank him. It's simply impossible. So
Grayson's going to have to play very careful, not using that W at all in lane. If we do see that, Nunu might be able to pounce on that opportunity. So just be aware of that.
Yeah, definitely. And we're going to see the last ban out from Akron as Lulu, which is a common pick. Intoner Maverick is going to be playing as the support for game one. So
looks like
I know it's one of his more confident champions. So and we are going to see my man himself. We're going to see the Rakan in game number one.
Love the Rakan for the Misfortune pick here. I believe that's such a great unit. He provides that tankiness. He provides that engage. He's able to charm all the targets, knock them all up, and Misfortune should be able to, hit them all down. I would like to hear from Akron a little bit more. I guess they have to engage.
They sort of need the tankiness because the Nunu will not be able to do it. He's going to build Bruiser, and they need somebody with a little bit more heft. Somebody like Poppy with that anti-dash really counters out Rakan, really counters out Kha'Zix as well.
Yes,
and
it does.
Even to a point, it sort of messes with Aurora. So this is a very good pick.
I think the Poppy's solid. Poppy. Do we expect that Poppy to be top or support, though?
I would imagine it to be a support just because that Jhin is going to be a very, very easy target. And if they've done scouting on Pride, they know that he really likes feasting on those bots. So we could see him in the bot lane.
I would like to say I agree, especially as they have a Renekton here. It looks like final pick's going to go over to Gato. Are we going to see a Gragas here?
Gragas pick is interesting.
Gragas pick would be very, very interesting here. Renekton, just a little bit of a stronger pick there, but Gragas usually known for being that counter pick, a little bit of range, that burst trading, and Gato's been, working his way up on that Gragas.
Yeah, so he was solid on Monday against Miami, Ohio. He really was able to start controlling that lane as soon as he hit level 4, as soon as he hit level 5. So as long as he can maintain that sort of mental pick, he's going to be very solid. He decides to go with the Ornn instead, though.
Very nice.
Ornn is a very sort of even pick. He's very sort of neutral across the entire game. And then he should be able to sort of amplify the abilities of whoever gets fed, whether or not it's Greyson in mid lane or DV with MF in the bot lane.
Yeah, even if you ever get behind in the game with that Ornn pick, you're still viable to your teammates. Like, as soon as you get past that level 16 mark, you're able to find those masterwork upgrades, and you're able to buff anyone that might be doing, phenomenal on your team. So that Ornn always has some sort of value.
Yeah, ultimate versatility in the top lane. That ult is solid for team fights. It's a free knockup, and it's great engage. The Poppy, though, is going to be another champion that really is sort of counters Ornn due to the fact that he also relies on a dash. So it's all the way across the board. It's really not terribly ideal for CMU. But if they can neutralize the Poppy, if they can sort of limit his ability to be able to take control, I think it's going to be a very solid team comp.
Yes. I think one big word for CMU here is that Renekton, though. As the Ornn is still a problem, I think if that Renekton is able to find his way on top of the Aurora, on top of the Misfortune, that might be it. That would be all she wrote. So that's going to be something to see. They're going to have to use a lot of their space, their range champ.
Yeah, I think the one thing that we have to consider, though, is I think Renekton's going to be forced to build Bruiser. I don't think he's going to be able to get away with Eclipse first item because he needs to have that sustain because Nunu doesn't have it. Poppy can build it, but in the end, she's not an amazing tank because she also sort of has to build Bruiser-ish. So I think we could see a sort of double engage with Poppy, Renekton, both going in, Nunu on follow-up, and then they have the Jhin, hopefully, to follow up beyond that.
You bring up a good point with the Poppy. I mean, the Poppy R, it can completely change the tide of a team fight instantly, just like that. If Poppy R finds 2 champions, it goes from a 5v5 to a 3v5 just like that. And, usually numbers advantage. Quite big.
Her R does indeed. It knocks people across the entire map, over entire jungles occasionally. And it really, especially if you find one of the carries, specifically the MF, which means DV has to be watching out. And with Greyson, once again, he's going to be, I would imagine, to be a prime target, especially against that Poppy. So they both have to keep their eyes peeled for a Poppy out of a bush. Just be watching before those big fights like we see with Drake and like we see with Baron.
Yes. Want to say, looking at this mid lane matchup, Aurora versus
Veigar.
Yeah. I don't know if it's going to be too exciting in the mid lane or the top lane.
I think top lane, I think we can watch it for about the first levels 1 through 3. I think if Renekton's going to get a kill on Ornn, it's going to be from levels 1 till 3. I can't see him getting a kill after probably level 8. I think level 6, if he hits 6 before the Ornn, I think that could be a kill. But I just overall, I can't see a whole lot of action. If there's going to be action, I can see it in the bot lane.
Yes, I believe that. We're going to see a lot of action probably with that Rakan, probably with that knockup of his. He's going to, if he finds a really good knockup, Misfortune's usually able to capitalize pretty well on that.
Yeah. And the one thing that's going to be interesting is how Pride reacts. Pride, he strives and he lives off of his hyper-aggressive gameplay where he's known for double scuttling, which means taking both of the monsters that live in the river on both sides, which is something that junglers really don't like. He lives off of ganking bot lane. And I think Akron has sort of built their comp around, hey, we're not going to let this guy try to take off. We're going to use Veigar's. cage. We're going to use Poppy's E or W to really try to just limit his activity. And then they're going to leave Nunu to sort of just try to farm, occasionally gank, but low commit ganks, where they're going to go in. They're not necessarily looking for a kill. They're looking for a flash, looking for a barrier. They're looking for one of those summoner spells where if they can limit it, it's going to be very...
Yeah, Nunu's one of those gank heavy champions where he's not farming as much, but it's kind of difficult because, if you're a very self-aware team like I know CMU is, and you're very aware of where that Nunu is on the map, those ganks can, lead to nothing.
Yeah.
Lead to just a waste of time. It's a big commitment once you hit W. You have to ramp all that up. You have to really show yourself on the map. There's no halfsies. You're either all in or you're out. That's it.
Yeah.
Kha'Zix's a little bit more freedom there.
Yeah, that 2D play style is something that CMU is going to really be looking to exploit. Pride has been known to be able to sort of predict where his junglers are going to be. And due to the fact that Kha'Zix's clear, I think, is significantly faster than Nunu's, Pride should have that sort of advantage to get, even if the Nunu shows himself first, he should be able to be there faster. So it could be an interesting sort of cat and mouse game in the jungle.
What would be very interesting from Akron here is you can kind of go for an early level gank with Nunu. That snowball does pack punch, can catch some teams off guard. Hopefully CMU is able to, watch out for that potentially.
Yeah, I could see it. I mean, the Nunu level 2 gank is something pretty common. It's as common as almost Leona's we ride at level 2 sort of idea where you just charge in as soon as anybody hits level 2. But it's...
If Nunu's able to find someone and they're right next to a wall, I think the Poppy with that being able to capitalize, that Poppy's damage is actually quite a bit for support. It's not something to laugh at.
Yeah, so there's a reason you can play her at top lane, because she can kill big hefty tanks. Yeah, she's actually a Renekton counter, funnily enough, with how this is sort of being played, because you stop the dashes of Renekton, which really limits it. In terms of looking at the bot lane, just outside of the Poppy, just looking at MF, Rakan versus the Poppy Jhin. What does that sort of look like?
Poppy and the Jhin, I believe that those are going to work actually pretty well together, as the Poppy's going to provide quite a bit of heal for the Jhin. Going to keep up some of the units that want to dash on top of that Jhin just right off, especially the Kha'Zix right there.
Everybody on this entire team?
Everybody on this entire team. But that Poppy really, I think, is just going to find most value, and if she can hit that R, if she can find those stuns next to those walls, should be really nice. Thing is, with the Ornn, he's going to be creating even more terrain for the team. Could work against him in some instances, creating a pillar that maybe Poppy can make use of. You never know.
Yeah, the Poppy is... It's under normal circumstances where we are playing a team that is absolutely even ranks. I would say this Poppy would be a complete death sentence for CMU, and I would hope that they have a way around it, and I would hope that they have a plan for the Poppy, because I imagine it came up when they were talking about draft that hey, 4 out of our 5 champions are almost fully countered by Poppy. So I imagine that was a conversation.
I imagine so. I imagine they're very confident in how they're going to handle it. Hopefully that Aurora's damage is able to just melt the Poppy. Yeah, we can hope. Hey, you get that Aurora a couple kills, she just keeps going and going and going.
Well, if I were to bet on anyone other than Pride to get fed, it is Greyson in the mid lane, especially. Veigar is... When you think of two-dimensional characters, you think of Veigar. So he's going to sit in lane till about minute 25. He's going to hit every minion he can with his Q and E, and then, or his Q and W, and then he's going to become a raid monster.
Yes.
Downside with that is from minute 0 to about minute 20, he is completely useless to anything besides the minions that he's fighting. So,
especially a good fall prey to a Kha'Zix.
Yeah.
If that cage is down, he might be down too.
Yeah. That's it. Greyson and Pride may be able to do a nice combo where he lures out the cage and then Kha'Zix is just there. Because I'm pretty sure, unless he builds Rod of Ages, which I've seen before, he will just die in one hit to the Kha'Zix.
An interesting interaction. I don't quite know how it works. You think Ornn can get through that cage with his W all the way? I think he can. You think he can?
I know K'Sante can.
K'Sante can?
K'Sante's can, yeah.
Wow,
so I think it would make sense for his to be able to, because they are both unstoppable during it.
That would make sense.
But it's going to be interesting. Maybe that was the whole idea with the Ornn pick, because, other than it just being the most comfortable pick for Gato, and who he's been not amazing on this season, but he's
finding some very strong success.
Yeah, he has found some success with it. I think it could be a solid reason for it, especially because Veigar, if they struggle to end this game, Veigar can turn into a problem.
Yes, Veigar is always going to be that glimmer of hope as we continue on to the game. It's The second you hit minute 40, everyone starts looking at that Vhagar.
Yeah, so that's why he is a low elo monster. Because when the games go longer, he is the monster.
Up
unfortunately, yeah.
With Kassadin, Ruin Soul, Smolder, those stacking champions that everybody knows and loves.
Yeah, the Kassadin doesn't really stack, but yeah. Hopefully, we see a Kassadin. I would love to see a Kassadin.
Love to see a Kassadin.
The true master of if it goes to if he goes to level 16, the game's just over. Unfortunately, you can just turn off your computer.
Boom. Actualizer.
Yes. Yeah. It's sort of overkill when you've stacked it up to the point where it does that much damage. But getting into game now, as we begin to see sort of what we're looking at, we're going to see that CMU going for another sort of invade. Overall, we've seen this almost every single game. They try to invade, try to get something, catch somebody changing their music, maybe catch somebody that's like maybe a little just unaware, and it has been effective at times. But CMU not quite finding anybody this time. Overall, this CMU team, they're going to go for a quick engage here. That Jhin does outrange the MF just by a little bit. As Rakan and them are going to try to trade back. MF trying to find something. Q not going to quite be able to. As we're just going to try to get back into that neutral game.
Yeah, we are going to see that Poppy running a bit of an aggressive rune there with the Hail Blades. Oh, and we see an early trade here from Aurora mid. Greyson, very confident on that Aurora.
That Halo Blades is an interesting choice. I was not sure I was going to see it. You usually go Halo Blades when, like, shall you explain? When do you go Halo Blades specifically?
Halo Blades, yeah, you really want to do that for those quick trades. If you are able to find that stun into the wall with Poppy, you're going to be able to get 3 auto attacks off in very quick succession. And if you're going Poppy, sometimes you can do something very, very cheeky and go lethality. And if you go something like Eclipse, where you're able to get that burst off of damage, and that Eclipse just chunks it for that max HP. Sometimes you can surprise a wandering ADC.
Oh, I know a Cho'Gath main that really enjoys his Halo Blades because he's constantly trading. And we are going to see here the downsides of playing Vhagar early. As we see Aurora, he's able to trade 3 times for great amounts of advantage, and this Vhagar is really going to be started to be bullied out of lane a little bit. We are going to see a small Nunu sort of just going to start just hooking up, as we are going to see the Gato unfortunately get forced under tower here for just a second. Overall, top lane is shoved in, not to be unexpected, as that Renekton does have a lot better wave clear, but Greyson here on the Aurora, who he's so comfortable with, is able to he's starting to shove in that Vhagar a little bit, as we are going to see he's staying quite healthy. Gato is staying a lot more healthier than we usually see under his sort of circumstances usually under, as we're going to see the first engage here in bot lane at level 2. Poppy goes in with her E. Unfortunately, it's going to get kicked right out. MF kiting on his way out, and that is, I think, a very close win. As we see Aurora get first blood in the mid lane, as we do see him take out that Vhagar, not to be unexpected, as those trades had been starting to hurt.
Yeah, and that's really just not what you want to see here early from Akron. That Vhagar, he needs that time in that mid lane to grow, to be effective into the mid lane. If you are already getting behind, 3 minutes into the game, it could spell disaster for Akron.
Yeah, definitely. And you can see at the bottom there, 500 gold difference just from that one kill. It is massive. You have that 300 from the normal kill, and then you have an additional 200 from first blood, as it gets really bad. As we are going to see that first gank, and we see that Aurora, who is just totally ungankable. He does find the Kha'Zix, though, in the back. We're going to see Aurora going after Nunu. We do see the pop right there, as we do see the cage come out from Vhagar. Important to mention that Vhagar, he did back for his tier, so that's important, but he did not back for any additional damage. So he is going to try to go full stacking, full something. As we're going to see that Nunu, he's coming back for more. That Kha'Zix did get scuttled, so he's fully healed, as Greyson secures the second kill of this game.
Yeah, and that's just a little bit of that Kha'Zix Nunu matchup, just like we were saying beforehand. That clear speed from that Kha'Zix is really being a benefactor here to Pride, as he's able to pick up both scuttles.
Yeah, definitely. And you can see that right in the middle. You can see that that's an 800 gold lead. That's going to be a lost chapter when he gets back, as we are going to see a bot lane small engage here. We're going to see him shove a little bit. We're going to just see overall they're entering neutral states. They're getting ready for back. Greyson here, I wouldn't shock me to see him hard shove this wave and then back. Overall, we see the Kha'Zix jump in on the top lane, as we see that Renekton start to go down a little bit. Overall, we're looking at sort of a more even game overall so far in every lane except for the mid lane, where Greyson is now up 2 kills on that core Vhagar.
Yeah, it looks like all of CMU is going to back here as they prepare for this first Drake here. I'm thinking they're going to want to look for a fight here. I don't know if Akron's ready to kind of respond to that.
Yeah, I don't think Akron's ready at all. Veigar is not. He's as strong as those cannon minions that he's shooting right now currently.
Yes, he is.
And the Jhin is a little bit behind on. Is actually ahead on farm, but the bot lane as a whole is behind on farm. And then you have Greyson, who just backed for a Dark Seal and a full Lost Chapter, which is very scary as he can now throw those spells out indiscriminately, essentially. CMU is in a very strong spot to take this dragon, and if they attempt to contest it, it could be an even better situation for CMU.
Yeah, so pay attention to Kha'Zix. They're trying to clear down towards the Drake. We can expect the second he makes it past that Gromp, he's going to be looking to secure that Drake. As bot lane's able to shove in the wave a little bit.
We are going to see a 3-man gank here by Poppy. Poppy in the back. We are going to see him stop that Rakan W as he's going to be able to get out. And without very much offense other than to DV, they are able to really get out unscathed.
Mm-hmm. We are going to see that Poppy getting some value already. That knock up on the Rakan there kind of just interrupted CMU's plans.
Yeah, they're going to be able to try to take Drake here. I believe they may be able to get it done.
Oh, that's
They're looking at that health mod. Greyson takes out 1. He takes out 2. He is on an absolute kill streak here as he's going to probably take down this Jhin as well. As we see TV, Greyson here can probably secure the 3rd, and Pride able to snatch it out underneath, sending Narwhal back into the sea as he is able to secure the Drake here relatively uncontested. Pride here is going to be faced with a very easy decision. He's going to take this Drake, and then he is, I would assume, probably going to top lane to try to invade and get even more out of that win they just got.
Yeah, that is a very strong Aurora right now. Highest level in the game. And as soon as she backs here, she's probably already going to get a first item. That is
That'll be a Luden's Echo, which is one of the newer items on the Rift. It's a very strong item as it boosts. It gives massive boost to AP, and yeah, it makes her even more bursty. As we're going to see another Nunu engage coinciding with Rek'Sai going, not Rek'Sai. Holy smokes. As we are going to see the Forge God come in from the Ornn. Gato, unfortunately, not able to quite catch it. As Gato's going to be chased back into the jungle. You can see how tanky that Ornn is, though. Yes, as he's really not able to do very much. We do see him engage, and unfortunately, Hurst is going to take out Gato in that top lane. As we're going to see Maverick get caught out here a little bit by the Poppy bot lane. He's going to be able to get out just in time, though, only taking a little bit as that Feathered Veil that he has really is able to get him out of a lot of situations. Overall, CMU in a great spot here. They're up 3k gold on the team, most of that being in the hands of Greyson in the mid lane, but that's who you wanted on. You wanted on that Aurora, because if you can hit that power spike, which is mostly boosted by items at 20 minutes, you're going to be cooking. As we're going to see the Rakan here, going to try to set up for a little bit of river control. We're going to see Kha'Zix just set up here. Greyson here, maybe looking for a small gank. Overall, you may see him turn around. He does see that ward, so he's going to back off.
Yeah, and we're going to see a little bit of an item difference here, as Aurora is already going to find that Luden's Echo, that very big power spike, and, Veigar's only going to have a Lost Chapter. As you can see, he's already going to fall to that Aurora mid.
I was going to say, that's another kill. Now 5-0. That Aurora is on an absolute tear in the mid lane as she is 1 kill off of going legendary. And that will spell absolute disaster for this Akron team. Overall, if we're looking for much, it's going to have to be through that Poppy if you're the Akron team. And DV, though it may not appear that he has gotten a kill relatively even, but look at the farm difference in the bot lane. It's important to mention that the farm difference from the supports goes to the ADCs, as Gato's going to get hit with one of these low commit ganks, as Nunu's just going to run the snowball and then run back into his own jungle.
Yeah, it looks like Akron's going to opt for the Void Grubs here. Don't know how much value they're going to find in that, though, as you kind of need some winning lanes. You need to be able to find the turret for those to find some value.
As we're going to see Pride here sitting and waiting for this Jhin to come across. There's the R pop, as we're going to see him get caught. Poppy propping her E. He's going to be forced back. The E is out, though, as we're going to see Rakan get on that engage, popping his R as well, the Grand Entrance. And unfortunately, he's just going to get knocked against the wall by Grim Devil as he takes out Maverick and gives Akron just a little bit of hope, going 6-2 now as he's going to shove the wave in and back, try to match timers. CMU with a little bit of a disastrous sort of tower dive there.
Yeah, just a little bit of overstepping from CMU there. Looks like that minion wave was able to kind of save Jin there as Kha'Zix wasn't able to proc his isolation. That's a lot of damage missing out from Pride's Kha'Zix because of a minion wave. Just being nearby.
Yeah, we mentioned him being a solo duelist. He's one of the few champions that actually gets weaker when a champion's nearby. Greyson, unfortunately, going to take, well, fortunately for us, is going to take out that Veigar once again, making it 6-0-1. And they are feeling really good. He's going to back most likely, I would imagine, almost for a Medjais at this point. Yes. Just even try to push his advantage even further in. As if you're this Veigar, I don't know what you're thinking, but it can't be anything terribly ideal.
No, playing from behind as Veigar is never something that is very fun. There's not much you can do, and you feel like you're just hitting people with toothpicks. It's not much you can do other than provide a little bit of value in your chain that you have.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing, Veigar only stacks on his Q. His Q is how he stacks things. So in order for him to really get a lot of effect, we're going to see a small little gank here in the mid lane. I can't imagine it's going to come to much, as he's just going to sidestep that and get out of the cage.
That's a lot of damage from the Aurora as Nunu almost falls.
Almost see. I don't know if he is. He does not have ult available currently, so Nunu is very fortunate. We're going to see Pride take out Krzciok in the top lane. Very good from him, as he's going to be able to secure it, as they're going to push their advantage even more in bot lane. They're really trying to get on top of that Jhin as soon as he steps a little bit away from the Poppy, but they are staying really condensed to try to prevent the impact of any of CMU's champions.
Mm-hmm. We're going to see that gold lead grow to about 5,000 gold across all of CMU's champions here. As per usual, it's our mid and jungle in their items first.
Yeah, we're going to see the absolute stars of the show this season so far, as Pride and Greyson are really been dominating this game once again. CMU looking to try to end. Where do you think the conditions are, just to start out? Where do you think the conditions are to try to end this game?
Well, I definitely think it starts at the neutral objectives here, as they're going for their second Drake.
As we are going to see the Jhin and Nunu try to step up here. Overall, we're going to see them step in, as we do see Jhin ult come out. That's not going to do very much against the Dragon, though, as Pride has been absolutely stout on these recalls. That's where we are going to see a big Greyson ult pop by that. We're going to see him push. We're going to see the Nunu sort of have to back off. And Intoner is going to sort of lead the charge there as Pride evolves his jungle pet. And he is now at 12 minutes. That means it's been a good game for Kha'Zix so far.
Looks like Poppy ult was able to find the Ornn there, and he's just going to run all the way to the top lane as he is not needed. The Renekton not able to match without TP. Bringing that Ignite, but it's not really finding much value in this game. And that kind of diminishes the Poppy ult. I mean, you brought a fight from a 5v4 into a 4v4, but CMU's still ahead in gold.
Ooh. Yeah, we're going to see an engage here as Intoner gets caught out. He is going to be able to get out using that double dash we see on that Rakan, as we're going to see them step back as EV is going to secure the kill. It might be a double angle here, as we are going to see the exhaust come out, taking negative damage, as Narwhal is going to take out Maverick in what is unfortunately a thing, as Jhin is going to take the double. That was a sort of more interesting engage there by Maverick. I'm a little bit lost for words here if you want to try to break that down a little bit. As we are going to see another engage here. Pride's on the scene, though, as we're going to see that fully charged Nunu ult take an ult. As we're going to see Gato unfortunately miss that ult, and Gato left against that Renekton top lane is going to be rough, as we do see Greyson there to sort of mop him up as he overextends just a little bit. Greyson really been the glue that's held this team together, as he now sits at 7-0. And important to mention, he will have his quest here, as he's had his quest for a little bit, which means he's going to be leveling on this Veigar now. Yeah. He's just really forced to run away a little bit. He did back for Medjais here a second ago.
I think Akron's going to get caught out here as the bot team kind of collapses. Rakan barely missing the knockup there. Man, if he got that knockup, though, I think that Veigar would have dead. As Veigar opts to flash
he does
over the wall.
Yes, that's really his only option there,
yeah, unfortunately. Without flash, I think we could see another Veigar death coming here soon.
Yeah, 0-4 is not how you want to start right now, especially in this first game. As we are going to see Intoner here, just get a little bit of poke on that Poppy. If you're MF, you consider I guess not. She's going to go, I imagine, a BF sword here first. I mean, I would imagine we're going to see a Bork here first, as we're going to see Intoner back off. EV is going to be building that. And overall, just another gank that has just no teeth from this Akron team. They're struggling to get any momentum going. overall, what do you think we're going to see from this Akron team? Do you think they're going to get more desperate as we're going to see Greyson once again try to take out that Vhagar? It's really just been a small gap in, I hate to say it, but a small gap in skill overall as he's really being able to take advantage of that 2D playstyle of the Vhagar.
Yes.
You are going to see that big engage. Jin is there on the scene, and Intoner trying to keep it even as he's going to pop ult. He's going to catch both Narwhal and the Grim Devil as he's going to get caught out again by this Nunu. He may be able to get out popping flash into that third dash as they're going to go and just completely take out that MF as Greyson is able to secure turret number 1.
Yeah, and Intoner here, I think just playing a little bit over aggressive. I think it's the third time we've seen him caught out in that Poppy wall. You know, you got to respect the Poppy a little bit. I think we're ahead, but, you know, it's not the engage that you want. It's not the start to the fight that you want. I think this bot lane could be dominating a little bit more if the Poppy wasn't able to find the stuns.
Yeah, I think he's trying to play with the idea that, hey, Greyson's playing so well, I have to do it as well. As we're going to see this Nunu dive in on a full Kha'Zix, as we're going to see that the Ornalt come in from the backside. Pride is going to be in Operation Get Out as he's able to trade those jumps with the Renekton. Ornn could be caught out here as Greyson's there. With Greyson here, I don't think this fight's going to go terribly well for Akron. As soon as he shows, they're going to back off. And we do see that interaction there with Ornn as he's able to get out of the instant.
Yes.
We are going to see that. Rift Herald.
Yeah, the Zips opting not to chase down as they fear for their life. Greyson with ult up. Not much he can do.
There's one strong woodland adventurer as Aurora is really dangerous in this game. And with almost well over a 6k gold lead, as you can see in the top there, CMU is in a very favorable spot as they may be looking for a tower dive here. Oh, this tower dive may have just turned into something of a little bit of nightmare. As he's going to almost one-shot the Nunu here. He is going to eventually get the kill as he's just going to jump out. He will be able to get out of here pretty quickly. And Intoner here not even able to make the engage as the Nunu died before a fight could even set up. Though the Poppy says not quite yet as he's going to push in. And this team is playing fantastically as Pride is going to be able to really make a meal out of that Vhagar in the mid lane as that Vhagar now sits at 0-5. And both Pride and Greyswag are in the driver's seat of this game.
Yes, very important that Greyswag wasn't able to get caught out there, as we are going to see this Magi slowly approach the 25 item stacking. You know, that is max stacks if you get an extra boost once that reaches.
Yeah, huge movement speed bonuses are crazy.
Speed bonus, especially on a champion like Aurora where, you know, she can chase you down. He's already got the damage. That could just be lights out.
Yeah, it's scary as we're going to see the Grim Devil here. Going to go down to Pride. Pride is in a really scary spot as he has the Nunu to his right, and we have Jin to the bot, but he's going to be able to get out no problem. We do see the Dragon fight developing here. I imagine they're not going to contest once more, which will push them on Drake point. Overall, looking at that Mountain Drake, what do you think?
Yeah, the Mountain Soul, not what you want to see from CMU. You'd rather see a more aggressive looking Drake here. But, you know, a soul is a soul.
As CMU is going to get, once again, a plethora of objectives as they're going to take both the Mountain Soul and the top tower as Greyswag making the Nunu. It's just very disappointing. So he's going to force a flash. Gato, he struggled early in the game, but he is really in the driver's seat now of that mid lane as we're going to see that poor Vhagar. He's just going to get absolutely blown up.
Yeah, not the damage you want from Vhagar either. That was a full W.
Yeah,
he's tickled the Kha'Zix.
You can see the fear in his eyes because he built that Seraph's shield first, and that was with him with his survivability item. As Gato here is going to be really in a nice spot. He's trying to really bait that Renekton in as he has Pride waiting just above. CMU is in an amazing spot, and overall they are in, we don't like to say unlosable position, but it would be quite an unfortunate game for them to lose this.
I believe CMU would have to make some mistakes.
They would have to really mess something up, as we're going to see Pride here just taking out that Nunu as he goes for that blue buff. Gato here trying to lure that Renekton. Yes. He's acting as bait as himself because he really can't do a whole lot of damage, especially without mana. So he's just like, come here. As he has Pride sitting over in the bush.
Yeah, it looks like Akron here. You know, if you're Akron, you really want to play into this Jin here. He's still finding some success in that bot lane, but, you know, you got to look over and see, you know, it's an 8-1 Kha'Zix. There's not much you can do. I mean, the Poppy is going to help because Aurora damage too.
Yeah,
oh, man.
There's the Aurora Electrocute proccing as this This Aurora has the power of a level 20 at this point, equivalent at this stage in the game, and it's... Unless they send all 5, I don't see a great way. As we can see at the top, 11k gold lead has developed overall, as we're going to see Pride once again going to secure another kill. Or maybe not, as the Nunu just going to barely wait it out as Gato arrives in the mid lane. And CMU going to take this middle turret at 20 minutes. Overall, I think they're going to wait for Drake, take Baron, and then this game could be in a very rough spot.
Man. Yeah, it's just not too fun. Not too much you can do as a Veigar. This late.
Yeah, at this point,
this much behind.
He's got to find just available waves. He's got to get stacks wherever he can. Take out Krugs. As we're going to see Pride absolutely jump on the Poppy. He's going to go down as the Jhin secures the shutdown, as they may take the top turret.
Ooh.
A small title shift back, as that was a 1,000 gold shutdown onto the Jhin. But overall, CMU still sort of in the driver's seat. An objective bounty has been claimed by that Renekton top lane. How much gold is that to everybody on the team?
It's looking like...
I think it's 150 for everybody.
150 sounds right.
I think it's 150 for everybody on the team, so that'll be a... Quick math betrays me today. It's going to be quite a lot of gold coming back. 750 gold coming back, as we're going to see Ornn just biting off a little bit more than he can chew. We are going to see that...
DV is going to arrive to the show. Will Got to be able to survive here. It does look like they're going to at least get the Renekton.
Maybe, hopefully.
Maybe.
I imagine with that
should
strut.
Have that movement speed, yeah.
I was going to say, I imagine with strut, he does start Bloodthirster this time, as he's going to give the kill to Gato. A little bit of an interesting move there, as I would imagine the gold will be more readily usable on that MF at this point.
I think they just want to finish the kill. I think Gato's trying to get back at him. Being 0-1 is never very fun.
That's definitely true. It's important to be 1-1.
Might just be vibes.
Yeah, it's been interesting, because CMU... I don't know if you agree with this assumption, as they're going to sort of be able to secure Baron here, as we're going to see Greyswag get sort of pinning against the wall here. He's going to be able to move out. Big CC as that Poppy ult is going to take out Greyswag. 1,000 gold onto them, as they're going to be able to go back. Pride taking out Double, as we're going to see Ornn getting another one, and they're going to be really forced to run here, as Narwhal is looking in a rough spot, looking into that Ornn's mouth, as we are going to see them trade support for jungler, as they're going to be forced back. And this Jhin, he stands strong. He is a stalwart. Oh, maybe not. No. It's going to be a great amount of damage, as that was a lot of damage out of that Poppy. I think we all underestimated quite how much damage that Poppy would do.
Very unfortunate for that Poppy there. That shutdown gold getting taken by the Ignite. I think you really want that gold on Jhin if you're Akron here. He is the guy. He is the hero. But Poppy with 1,000 gold?
That's true.
What you can do with that.
Can be a little bit more tanky, which doesn't do a whole lot, especially when they have two extremely fed members in Pride in Greyswag. Overall, I think we're starting to see it here. CMU has been, I think you would agree with me on this assessment, they have looked a lot better in their previous games. It's just they've been able to get away with some of the habits in this game, as Greyswag's going to run into 3 people here. He's going to get rooted on the way out. Pride here is looking for a kill, though, as a huge amount of damage comes out. Pride looking for that.
Jumping on in.
As he pops that Zanya's early. Gato able to take out Renekton here. Poppy just on the run, as that blast cone is able to knock out both. As we see Greyswag secure another kill. That Nunu is 1 in 10. Absolutely. He's sort of useless at this point as a Nunu, as he's sort of just out of the game. As CMU will most likely take Drake's Soul here uncontested. Relatively uncontested.
Yep, that is going to be the Mountain Drake Soul. Falling to CMU here, as they are all going to collectively get that much tankier and harder to kill.
Yeah, Greyswag he's pretty unkillable at this point. They're going to probably go Baron here. It wouldn't shock me for them to be able to take this relatively for free, as Nunu and Renekton still are not up, as we can see with the 5 and 2 second respawn timers. And Nunu does not have teleport, and neither does the Renekton at this point. So, or I guess he does with the new top lane quest. But they are going to take Baron here, and they're going to probably back here probably for almost a full item each to add so much gold to the on field. But CMU is in a extremely strong spot right now. Going to see Pride here. He wants more, as he's going to jump immediately on that Veigar. Veigar he's playing really confidently. I'm not going to lie.
He's going a little bit farther than I think his level allows.
he's going a little bit further for any Veigar, regardless of level to allow.
Very brave Veigar.
As we're going to see him take full, we do see that Rakan R is ready, which can turn full fights here. Overall, CMU is going to be looking to end here as Renekton is taking those bot turrets while everybody's away. They're going to probably sacrifice that bot turret for this mid turret as Pride's going to step in. Greyswag here looking for a lot of damage here. That Mountain Drake makes him nearly unkillable as we do see that Poppy R come out, catching 2 of them on the way out as Pride, they do not quite catch the Ornn or DV or Pride. They instead catch the Rakan, which is a little bit rough as they're going to be able to push in without very much help. That Poppy frontline is going to be rough. We're not going to be able to really be able to do anything here. Overall, DV Gato are just ready to stand there. Gato forging an item while taking tower shots. CMU going to step forward here. The Jhin R does come out. We see the MF ult come out as well as we're going to see the Veigar get a kill on that Rakan. And this may actually be it's looking to be a somewhat lost fight here as never mind. We see Greyson sort of engaged there, taking a full chunk out of that Renekton. He's going to have to step out. We do see MF starting to spike at this point. Pride still alive, and this is looking to be a disaster for the Akron team as they are once again not able to get on DV as Greyswag takes him out with that W. And at this point, the carries are gone for Akron, and the carries are certainly alive for CMU.
Yeah, I don't know if Jhin and Veigar are going to be able to hold this one as Greyswag is just an unstoppable force right now. That Kha'Zix's looming. Goes around. Looks like he's going to try and find the hop. Oh, and that might be a dead Jhin there.
That will be a dead Jhin there.
And a dead Veigar as Greyson picks up his 14th kill of the match.
Yeah, 14-1. What a near perfect performance from Greyson this game. And exactly what you want to see out of a game one, especially from a team that's sort of... We haven't had as much historical success, but a team that's so far this season has had very good success.
Yes. Be very, very nice if we can keep the streak going. You know?
Yeah, keep it going. Going 3-1 would be a historical high for this team as they have not won that many games, at least since our most senior cast member in Dominic has been here. So overall, they're looking to try to go 3-1. I think they're going to be able to do it against this Akron team, but we will see when we return here in just a minute. Stay with us. And welcome back. We are off of a absolutely thrilling game one where Central Michigan was able to secure their first win and hopefully a knockout blow in this game two. I'm Lincoln Dodds back again as we get into this draft phase for game number two. Overall, as we get started, we are looking at a Rengar Smolder ban. You will not get to see Pride on the Rengar in game two, unfortunately. Hopefully, we get to see him later on.
Yeah, potentially. If there's a game three, I mean, I can't really see Akron letting that through, honestly speaking. But it would be nice. It would be fun.
It would be great to see that, honestly, because Rengar is his self-described best champion, and the reason why his name is Pride. So,
yes,
indeed. We're going to see the Pike ban. Unfortunately, no Pike for Evan today. And we're going to see the Kane ban out. No shocker there from CMU, as overall, the Kane is a win trick from Gato.
Yeah, I believe he had 34 games playing on Kane already in the 2026 season. So, yeah.
But if he was 33 and 30, that's like almost one a day, which is pretty crazy for the season so far. We're going to see the Jax ban. Gato, I wonder if Gato or if Pride have a lot of like very old Jax games, because we've seen a Jax ban quite often.
There is something out there,
and
it's telling every team that we play Jax.
There's something on the scouting report. I don't know what it is.
Beats me.
Yeah, exactly. As we're going to be looking at maybe a Caitlyn first pick here. They realized they were dealing with a lane bully last game. So they're like, we're going to go with even more of a lane bully in Caitlyn today.
We are probably going to see that Caitlyn on that strongest player, I believe. Akron's ESC had a pretty strong performance last game.
He did. That
Jin was able to keep up, like stay in the game a little bit, trying to, last man standing kind of deal. But we'll see how this Caitlyn goes, as
there used to be
hash into it. Kind of matching poke with poke. I think Caitlyn still beats her out a little bit, but as that game kind of scales, Ash is going to scale a little bit better.
And Ash is a first pick I find to be very interesting from CMU, as
I wonder if we're seeing Braum here.
I was going to say, I feel like the Braum second pick is really the only option you have. You're sort of forced yourself into a corner a little bit. Ash Braum's very solid because as you match poke, Braum is sort of an anti-poke champion.
Seraphine could be fun too.
Seraphine could be fun.
Saying.
It could be. Karma's just in the same vein as Seraphine almost. So
we're going to do the more pokey. I believe that Raspberry is subbing in.
I believe, Raspberry is. He was sitting down. He did plug everything in. So he will be playing in this game too. His Karma, I'm unaware of his Karma. Usually he plays more Pike, Rakan,
more aggressive,
sort of,
dashy champs. Not the move speed champion like Karma that has the swifty steps.
Yeah, especially, I would expect to see it, especially because Poppy's gone. You can't play Poppy anymore. I don't think they have a Talia based on the scouting we did, so it would make a ton of sense for him to go with Dash Champion, but we do decide to go with the Karma. We're going to see the bot lanes locked in immediately as Thresh comes in next.
We probably know what these bot lanes look like. I don't believe Greyswag's going to be opt for the Karma mid. And I don't believe Gato's going to do a 180 and have a Karma top, so Karma's most likely going to be a support.
I could see a Karma mid. Karma mid sort of fits the style a little bit of Greyson being that mage, sort of being a mage guy. Role,
but potentially?
Well, the thing is, you can build him total AP, which is something that you can see. It's a little iffy, especially into a Briar that will just jump on you and make it not fun anymore. But
we have seen a Briar against CMU before, and that was a really nasty Briar.
Oh, that was
that Briar was very rough to fight.
Yeah, that was one scary Briar. But hopefully we can see. We're gonna see the Kindred pick up here from Pride. We are seeing a departure from what Pride usually does as the assassin player going into the Kindred. I know you have more experience. What is that matchup sort of? What does that game plan sort of look like?
So Kindred is a very finicky champion, kind of been in that same kind of boat as Nidalee, where you have to be ahead. You have to be a very confident jungler, as if you're able to get on top of your marks and able to keep those stacks going, you're going to find a larger and larger gap growing in between the junglers, as Kindred needs her stacks to really stay prevalent in the game. It is very, very strong of her to get those. And then on top of that, everybody on the map can see those marks. So once that's going, you gotta either invade, you gotta overstep somewhere, and the other team should be ready to pounce.
We see the Vel'Koz Lux ban back to back. It's not shocking there to get out those long range artillery mages. But what is a Kindred mark?
Kindred mark. So yeah, Kindred around every 90 seconds or so is gonna be able to mark a random either neutral objective, same Rift Scuttle, like Drake, Baron, Rift Herald, or it's gonna mark an enemy, either Romp, Krug, Chicks, or Wolves.
Yeah.
And when Kindred's able to successfully take one of the enemy objectives, she's going to get that mark, empowering her attack range, attack speed, some of her abilities. It's going to increase its execution range for her W. Overall, just really nice. And it's a permanent buff. So, there's no takebacks once you let Kindred get that buff.
Yeah, one of those permanent stackers. We are going to see the bans come out here from both teams, as Mordekaiser is the last ban here from CMU. Banning out towards the top lane makes a lot of sense, as you don't think you would see a Briar or a Thresh top, but
Probably
you never know.
You do never know. And one more sorry.
You do see a Mundo Malphite from the other side.
Yes. One more thing on the Kindred, you can mark specific champions. Forgot to say that. For specific, roles, if you want to go for the top lane and the mid lane, Kindred can also, jump on that losing lane, that winning lane for CMU.
Really can make that wound even worse as you just get jumped on repeatedly by the Kindred. As you predicted, the Braum is going to come in here as most likely the Ashe partner, and we are going to see Greyswag playing that Karma in the mid.
Like you're right.
It doesn't shock me to see him sort of pivot onto that, as we're going to see most likely the Galio as the response in the mid lane. Galio Karma is it's a weird lane, I would imagine. Galio probably can get on that Karma somewhat easily, but I mean, Karma does have the ability to sort of root him herself.
Yeah, I would hope that the Karma is able to somewhat evade the E with the move speed that she has, but if you ever fall into that taunt range, it could be pretty bad, especially with a Briar lurking.
Especially because he'll be able to spare himself an electrocute rune, which means he'll be a lot more early game damage, especially into Karma, and we're gonna see the Cho'Gath pick here. Do I say Vayne top? Vayne would make a lot of sense here. Cho'Gath, Galio, Thresh, all great targets. The Briar is also not bad into Vayne.
It would be very cool to see a Gwen here.
Gwen can also work.
Very, very nice. Maybe even a Mundo.
Mundo's banned out, unfortunately.
Banned out the Mundo.
The Tryndamere pick also makes a lot of sense. You build a Bork. Darius makes a lot of sense as well.
There's
a lot of champions that make,
Darius is here. Darius would be pretty strong here.
Ooh,
the Ambessa.
Ambessa's a more... What do you think of that pick?
I think that Ambessa here is actually really good. You're able to find that Caitlyn with your R with that, what is it? Public Execution, I believe the ultimate is called.
Yes.
And, against that Cho'Gath, it's very, very tough to land that Q against that Ambessa. She's just always dashing around. She's a lot of damage. It's not a very fun lane to stay in. And Cho'Gath, a lot like Veigar last game, he needs a lot of time to really build up. He needs to build that health, stack up, get those procs going, get those Rs going. He needs that time to get to this game.
Yeah, he needs a lot of time. And the Cho'Gath has an interesting sort of dilemma, because he needs to eat people in order to be effective.
Yes.
So Ambessa will know, and Gato will know, that Cho'Gath's really dangerous. If he doesn't go Hail of Blades, he's never dangerous before level 6.
Yes.
And if he does, he knows to just back before level 6, get your item, and then try to beat him after that.
Yeah.
So CMU is they should know how to play against this, especially because Cho'Gath is a very common solo queue champion.
Yeah, I think that Kindred too, you get a lot of range as well. And that Cho'Gath, that's kind of his weakness. Picking the Cho'Gath into the Ashe, kind of, I think, a misplay a little bit on Akron's part, as that Ashe slow can be pretty devastating.
Yeah.
Sometimes you really can't get on top of them. You're gonna have to find a really good engage angle with that. With your teammates.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna have to, with in terms of engage. Thinking of the Akron team comp, do they have any real strong engage?
I don't know.
I think they're trying to play more poke. I mean, they have the Galio, which Galio can go in with E, but that's a really short dash.
Very tough.
You've
got the Briar ult, but it's kind of like
it's a long
hit or miss.
Yeah,
very hit or miss. And there's no consistent engage like you would see with Jarvan, like you would see with Nunu, like you would see with
Zhao. I mean, they have the. I mean, you could sort of almost engage with a Thresh hook, which is as bad as that sounds. Try to go there. Try to go into
the Galio art, into the Briar.
Yeah,
potentially.
Yeah,
the thing is, I like the Braum ult for all of them. I think the Braum are the disengage there is very valuable for such a team that doesn't have much follow up. You have to engage, but you don't have the ability to stick with them as much. And Ashe Braum just kind of neutralizes that.
Yeah, it's CMU. I think, at least in my opinion, I think they definitely won this draft. I think the Karma mid, Greyson is good enough technically to know how the Galio plays. He's played against Galio, I'm sure, hundreds of times, so he knows what to watch out for. He knows he has to avoid the poke damage that comes with Q, and overall, I like his sort of positioning. But the only thing is, if that Briar gets fed, like we saw with that absolutely nasty Briar from Kent State, they've got to watch out for the fed Briar, because that will just almost team one you, especially if he builds a lot of life steal. But overall, looking at action, we like to see the action early in the game. Where do you think it's going to be?
I want to say bot lane again. I think the early game bot lane, Braum being that strong level 1 fighting champion, CMU's going to try and have a little bit of they're going to try and take a little bit of turf there, try and go for the bushes. But Caitlyn, with her passive, she gets a little bit more stacks when she's in those bushes, and so Akron's going to fight back and want that bush priority back, and so I think it's going to be a little bit of a scuffle there. And where it really comes into play is Pride is really good at getting into those bot tri bushes and finding a good ganking opportunity. We're finding a way to sneak behind the bot lane when his bot lane has shove and surprise them there.
Yeah, the surprise is going to have to be the name of the game for the CMU team.
Yes.
That Kindred, as you mentioned, is a infinitely stacking champion, and he stacks off champions. So he's Pride, who on Rengar last game, I believe, ended the game with, if not, I think he ended with 7 kills. In terms of what does a 7-kill Kindred look like compared to a 7-kill Rengar?
Very scary. It's an ADC in the jungle, pretty much, Lincoln. That's it. You can stick onto them very well with that Q. You get a lot of move speed, a lot of mobility with that. But, what's more important is that ability to slow them with your E. Good execute, it's good slow. You get a lot more damage than you would think on Kindred.
Yeah, definitely. And he has his ult, which it can save anybody that gets hit with a Thresh Hook, which may end up being their only real strong engage. Kindred can just jump in and press R. And his R, called Shepherd's, I think it's Shepherd's Ward, allows, Shepherd's Blessing, something like that, allows for nobody that is in that aura can die for quite a long time, actually, and then it heals them back up to a certain threshold if they're allies. So it's really, really hard to sort of, it's hard to engage on a Kindred, especially a team built around a Kindred.
Especially if that Briar ult lands. I mean, usually you're expecting a kill with that. But, if you're not right next to Kindred props are, everyone's able to get low HP, and once everyone's low HP, I think maybe the Invest is able to take advantage of it. Maybe the Galio will actually find some use in that if he's able to hold his R a little bit, wait for that Shepherd's ult to come off. That Galio knocks everyone up. That could be really good for Akron here, actually.
I say, we didn't talk, they have a ton of CC on their team. Between the Cho'Gath with his knock-up and just the ability to silence, you have the Briar with his silence, fear, everything you can imagine on that champion. Galio, the Thresh, everybody on his team.
Yeah.
Some form of root, knock-up, silence, something in their bag of tricks.
I do want to say that Akron has a lot of good objective control. If they're able to get first priority on that objective, Caitlin's able to set up some of her traps. You get a lot of leeway with how you want the fight to go. And with that Thresh, you're able to kind of, gauge out who's going to be their front line, because you can't expose anything, or else Thresh is going to potentially find that hook that's devastating. That Cho'Gath, also really good for carrying objectives. You get a lot of true damage in that ultimate. You can find a lot of good objective fighting around this Akron comp.
Yeah, I think they may have read into a little bit. Greyson was very solid last game, but he did have that one little mistake where he overextended just a little bit.
Yes.
And I think that might be the thinking behind the Thresh pick, because if they can find Greyson's just a little bit overextended with that Thresh one hook, and that's a dead Karma. And Karma does have a lot of shielding power, but a full powered Caitlyn is enough to just nothing can survive that.
Sniper immediately. That would be the end of Karma. She gets hooked, especially in front of the entire team, in front of a Cho'Gath.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially with that very strong execute that he has. You mentioned objective control. What do we think about the first objectives and the first dragon?
I'm thinking that with some of this early game damage, Caitlyn's going to be a little bit stronger than Ashe in that early game, but it's going to understand. Really, I think it's more neutral here. I think the Cho'Gath's not going to be able to help out. And Bessa moves towards Drake. CMU is going to get that Drake. But if there's no movement, it stays that 4v4 scuffle. then I think it's anyone's game. I don't think any team really has. There's a clear winner there.
So yeah, we're looking at a pure execution-based sort of style, which League of Legends is an execution-based game.
Yes, most certainly.
Because there's a reason why pro players are pro players, and there's a reason for all these things. But I think CMU has the ability, and we saw it in the first game, they have the ability, even when they're not playing their best, to sort of be able to outplay / play very well into this Akron team.
Yes,
so
I believe their macro is very solid there.
Yeah, if you can beat them with just pure macro, it's really hard to lose, because, it doesn't matter how fed you are if you can't find objectives and find your ability to be able to fight as a team.
Yeah, League of Legends game all about small victories, and they add up. They add up throughout the entire game, especially those small solo kills that, grow into just not being able to even go to your lane properly. We saw it with Vagar. That early game first blood, I think at the 3-minute mark, led to later down the road, I think every time he showed his face in lane, it was a bloodfest.
Yeah. They've got to hope. Which Galio is a much safer champion. It's a lot harder to one-shot the Galio, and it wouldn't shock me. Well, it would shock me, actually, based on the amount of damage this team comp has. But if he goes a more tanky build, try to save that KDA a little bit for the series, it wouldn't shock me if the Karma was not able to kill him in lane. And I think if Greyson goes 0-0, he's a lot less effective in being able to really assert map pressure. And Galio has a lot of wave clear. So if he's trying to assert map presence all over the game, Galio is going to get a lot for it. So he's got to be careful on sort of balancing how much do I want to help bot lane and help top lane and be really a presence that everybody has to know about, compared to how much do I want to save my lane.
Yeah, I will say if they go neutral for like the first 15 minutes, I think the scales tip in Galio's favor, most certainly.
Definitely.
I think the Karma is going to find a lot more utility in probably supporting the Ashe there, enchanting her, giving her that little bit of movement speed. Hopefully we can see DV glide around a little bit. The Guma glide.
I was going to say that glide would be pretty awesome to see, especially in a sort of end game style. Overall, if we're looking at the Karma pick, I think originally it was intended to be a support pick. Were you shocked to see? I'm not sure how much experience Greyson has on that Karma pick.
I'm not so sure either.
Do you think he can transition? Going from Aurora to Karma is obviously a big transition, but what are the things he has to think about in order to balance those two things?
Yeah, so I think Karma comes down to having a little bit more early game damage, and I think that mage caster role still fits him very nicely. I think he's going to find a lot of success there, as Galio's kind of a harder match for those mage casters. But playing that Talia, I think I've seen him in Syndra before, playing Aurora, it should transfer over very nicely.
Yeah, I'm hoping
it should be able to be a very smooth transition for Greyswag as we head into the first match.
As we get into game number 2, CMU is proving to be in a strong spot. I think overall, one last question I always like to ask: who do you think won draft?
I would like to say this one falls into the favor of CMU. Just with those last two picks there, I think Akron kind of had the lead, but that Cho'Gath blind was a little courageous, and I think that Bessa is the correct play to counter it.
I would definitely agree. CMU, I think, are in a very strong spot. I think Pride here is going to be looking to stack marks as fast as possible, to really try to just really exploit the weaknesses that he was able to pick out in that first game jungle. Overall, this bot lane is intriguing. There is a huge size difference, a huge sort of range difference between the Ashe and the Caitlyn, and once again, even between the Braum and the Threshes. We're going to see a small little invade here from Pride and from Raspberry, taking advantage of how strong Braum is, level 1. That Briar here maybe jumping into a little bit of a trap, as he's going to jump in immediately on that Braum passive. Huge amounts of damage coming out. Kindred able to secure that first blood, securing the very first mark of his game, and taking red buff, everything in CMU's favor, as they're even going to get a little bit of poke damage on the way out.
Yeah, very aggressive from the Briar player there, jumping phase first into a Braum. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work out for him.
So we're going to see it was sort of a more interesting sort of decision for them to do that. If we want to go back and watch that for a second, if we want to go back in the future, we can look at clips, but we're going to look at this game so far. We're going to see Gato here in this top lane. He's really been strong in playing lane. He's going to have to be strong here against this Cho'Gath. He's going to have to take initiative, especially before levels, probably between levels 3 and 6. I mean 3 and 5 because Chojnacki does get a significantly stronger power pump from level 6.
Yeah. As we do see this Braum kind of chunking out, trying to clear a little bit of traps here.
Sidestep there by Raspberry. As we're going to see a step in here from Pride, catching out that Thresh. They're going to target the Thresh here as we're going to see that Ashe slow seriously messing with them. As Raspberry here could be in a tough spot. They're going to be able to ward him away. As we're going to see a forced flash from Pride. Pride chasing him down. He is going to trade here as Narwhal secures a 1-for-1 overall. What do you think won that trade?
Very, very much so in the CMU side, as that ADC is able to fall and not able to collect that minion wave. DV is going to be very happy to crash that minion wave right into that tower, as we're probably going to see the CS advantage grow a little bit, and DV should be able to buy just maybe a little bit more.
This is the call angle.
Oh, maybe it's just a very even gold difference. As you look at the jungle gap, there's most of the gold there.
Yeah, I was going to say a full 1K. They're actually pretty even in every other lane. As we mentioned them, he's going to have to take that initiative early in the game, Gato in top lane, if he wants to be able to secure. So the fact that he is able to sort of take that advantage is very strong. DV and Raspberry here are really in a sort of interesting spot because none of the gold has gone their way, but Caitlyn does have a kill over Ashe, so they're going to be really relying on Pride to try to make angles for them.
Yeah, as we are going to see a pretty neutral state here in the mid lane. Not quite what you want to see from the Karma-Galio matchup, but because you really want to see that Karma sort of take advantage of the early lead. As we see Pride here looking for another gank angle on this Chojnacki. Very immobile champion. I think he's going to fall here.
Yeah, Pride securing yet another kill, going 5-1 at the start of this game. As we're going to see the Briar jump out of the bushes there. He's going to be able to dodge the E as we're going to see Gato go in. They're going to force the flash out of that Briar as the mark comes down just a little bit too late from Pride. So they were able to turn that into a very successful matchup, being able to gain a lead of 2k gold just very early in this game. And Kindred can really snowball on that gold lead.
Yes, that is not the champion you want to see with the gold lead, as it gets harder and harder to get in.
We are going to see DV using that flash to go in, able to secure the first stack of that Braum passive. Narwhal here is going to be forced backwards. Here comes Thresh. Thresh using that lantern to get him out. Narwhal here is most likely dead to DV as they're going to be looking for a double kill here as they cut him out. Not much that support can do as he's really immobile as they do give the double kill to Ashe. He's got to get out. Maybe not dying to minions on accident here.
Oh my goodness, a little close there from DV. As we can see, it was a really nice play from Raspberry there, trying to stick on top of that lantern so that the Narwhal could not use that lantern to get to Thresh's safety. Yeah. And, it just cost him too much time. Too many auto attacks were performed in that time, and he was not able to get out. Caitlyn was able to fall there.
I was going to say Pride with a little bit of an engage here. He does still have that mark on the Briar, so he's going to be looking for the kill. Now he's changing it to Thresh, so he's going to be looking for a bot lane gank as Thresh sees that. He's going to back up in lane a little bit. Gato here sort of starting to... He's going to try to start pulling away here from the Chojnacki. He has a little bit of a gold lead from just farming alone, and he's going to be looking for that advantage as we see Pride here going to take the first dragon of the game. We do see the TP coming in from Karma out of the bot as they secure the first dragon of this game.
Yes. That Mbessa Chojnacki lane probably not going to be too explosive until that Mbessa is able to find that first item, Eclipse, which she most certainly has her eyes on. As that's going to do a big chunk of Chojnacki's HP every time she wants to trade.
And it's going to be a good shield to prevent her from getting sort of just right-clicked by that Chojnacki and ran down. As we're going to see, Galio did decide to go with that Electrocute rune, which means it's going to be a little bit more dangerous to Greyswag, as he does lose a little bit of he loses a little bit of health there in the trade. Overall, Raspberry here is in a strong position, though.
Yeah. Not quite start to the game that you want to see from Akron. Obviously, falling 2 kills to bot lane and 5 kills to the jungler.
Overall, we are going to see a gank here, though, out of the Briar, as Gato here is going to be able to just escape out. You mentioned just how mobile that Mbessa is, and we see it right there. She's just able to auto him once, press Q, and really just get out, as Pride is going to be taking the jungle in exchange for that failed gank. As we're going to see Raspberry here, maybe looking for an engage. The exhaust comes early out of Raspberry, as we do see him step on a Caitlyn trap. He's going to be forced to step out here just a little bit early. Not the greatest engagement we'd want to see, but we do see Pride up here looking for maybe a fight as Galio's rotating down as well. Here comes Pride. We're going to see him step out as the Galio ult comes in. Raspberry should be able to get out, no problem with the use of that Prom W.
Yeah, and Galio's going to pay the price for going and saving his teammates here as Karma's able to shove this wave in. Galio's going to lose a lot of farm here, and possibly a plating.
Yeah, we're going to see that 500 gold lead just start to amass. You can see down in the bottom, the Karma and the Galio are relatively even overall.
Uh-oh. Looking like Briar's going to get caught out here as Karma's able to find this tether, root him, set him up nicely for Kindred here.
Overall, we're going to see a big engage here as the Galio just bit off a little bit more than he can chew. Karma with that double kill. Greyswag once again proving to be ultra valuable for this team. And he is going to back for his most likely first item as CMU is in a great spot here.
Yeah, that Kindred. Slowly approaching that Trinity Force. Pretty big item for all the champions that build it.
Yeah, it is, I believe, the most, not the most, one of the most expensive items in the game. Only cheaper than the Overlord Bloodmail, which is the most expensive item in the game. As we are going to see Greyswag back here for his first item. Kindred here rotating up, going after that very, very poor Cho'Gath, as he's just going to be able to take chunks out of his health.
Yes.
He's going to win the lane for Gato, essentially.
Yeah, that red buff doing so much to slow down that Cho'Gath, who can do nothing but just try and walk away as fast as possible. You can see the effects of not having boots.
Yeah, boots are super important, especially in this stage where they have 3 champions that are going to kite you. There's not an if about it. And especially as CMU is going to be looking here for a little bit. They're going to try to just enter the neutral game a little bit. They have Hextech. They have the first Hextech Drake. They have about a minute 45 until they go to their second one. So it's really going to be just looking for a pure... They're just going to settle down a little bit as we do see Greyswag just going to try to take off a little bit more than he can chew. He does have Pride there to his left underneath the bushes, who is indeed hidden. He's going to step back, looking for that Pride, looking for that mark in the jungle. As we're going to see him just settle for Gromp instead, or at least try to force a fight using Gromp as bait. We're going to see we have the decision being made by the Briar, just chucking an ult for seemingly little reason at that close range Kindred. It has a long wind-up animation, so it makes it very easy for Pride to be able to make a decision there and dodge.
Yeah, it does seem like Galio fell in the mid lane as Greyswag was able to pick up a kill there. Very interesting.
And we're seeing Gato here with a little bit of an engage. He does have that Eclipse now, so he's able to get that extra shield from doing the damage. As we're going to see Pride here settle for the fight as Greyson really baits in that Briar, showing that he only has a little bit of health, but not seeing the fact that he has that empowered heal. Briar really sort of just fell for it and dashed directly into that low health.
Yeah, using that ult just a little earlier, obviously showing that he pays the price. Having the ult there for Briar could have secured a kill.
Yeah, definitely. And we're going to see Gato here really in a strong spot in this lane as we're going to see Pride try to do a public dive. We're going to see a public execution come out from the Mbessa, and we're going to see that Shepherd's Blessing just sort of keep him alive as Galio, a little bit late to the party, but always appreciated as he comes flying in. And Pride is going to just get out of this pretty scot-free, but without his mark. He's gonna, this Galio once again is going to trade farm for almost unneeded assistance, as they're going to be now up 1.7k in the mid lane. Greyson is up 4k gold. He's up 4 kills in 1.6k gold. Most significantly, he is up a significant amount of farm, at least 2 kills worth of farm on top of that 4 kill difference.
We are going to see just the amount of vision that CMU has here. Pretty incredible how much control wards they're able to sneak into that bot side.
Yeah, definitely. They're going to be able to secure a lot here, especially off this entire game. CMU in a strong spot. It's important to mention that if they win this game, the playoff picture looks strong.
Yes.
If they win this game, CMU will... They're guaranteed a playoff bid with the bye next week, and they are guaranteed a strong... Not a strong spot quite yet, but they could gain a strong spot, especially because if they go 3-1, apologies, our top graphic is not correct currently. They are currently at 2-1. A 3-1 sort of season start would not guarantee them a strong spot, would do significant
Certainly
damage.
Put some eyes on them.
Yes, especially from ESC. As we're going to see a small engage here from DV. They're going to step back. Another slow, as we do see that Braum slow him down once more. We do see Thresh ult come out. And DV once again going to get another one. Let's see if he can get out for free. Raspberry there to sort of cushion the fall from that shot from Caitlyn, as they're going to be able to get out once again scot-free, as that cash moves to 3-0. Galio, I think he's a little bit unsure about how to deal with this Karma in the mid lane, as it is not a common matchup for most Galios to see.
Yeah, no, this Karma just having a little bit more free movement, as Karma is 4-0. I think I missed that.
Yeah, Karma has been absolutely... He's been doing incredibly well, as we're going to see Pride here. I believe he's going to take this dragon pretty much uncontested. No real great prospects here, as we're going to see that massive Karma R. It was empowered, but it still is insane. As we're going to see them take the Drake, and we are going to get back-to-back Mountain Drakes here for CMU. Not, again, what you really want to see, as I believe anything besides Mountain would really be better. But we are going to see an engage here. Pride here on the outskirts. He's going to get taunted by the Galio. You're going to see a big engage. Galio R comes in. Pride able to knock out that Galio out of the fight. And we're going to see Pride get a double. Kindred marks all over the place with a triple. We may be looking at a quadra kill here, as Narwhal is going to flash Pride, looking for it still, as he is going to secure the quadra kill and is going to really take any wind that this Akron team had out of its sails, as he's also most likely going to take the entire jungle from this Akron team.
Oh my goodness, and talk about a player that will just capitalize on those mistakes. Pride, able to go 9-1 at this point. He's going to have a lot of gold when he backs in. This is just going to be a very scary Kindred. Very scary Kindred indeed. I believe that is now 7 marks for Pride, as you can see indicated right at the top right of his icon. Right up here.
Well, we're going to see a small engage. Pride here going for another one as he's going to dash through. May have been a little more he can chew. He's going to be able to take out one, as that Galio is trying to stick onto him. He's not going to be able to, as Pride here is looking for his 11th kill of this game. He is on a absolute tear, ladies and gentlemen. He just went quadra kill into a double kill, and he is absolutely in the zone and looking to go to the playoffs.
Yeah, that mark's going to fall into that blue buff. Looking like Pride's probably going to go and rotate for it, as there's no one to contest him.
Yeah, I'm going to say, nobody in the house currently, so they're good. He's good to just take it all, as we're going to see TV using that extra bit of scuttle movement in order to escape that Thresh hook. And that is going to be his 8th mark once again. What's a good threshold for how many marks Pride should have at this point?
I believe typically it's about 1 mark every 3 minutes. I could be very, very wrong there. And so Pride here is very, very accelerated here. Oh yes, Pride here is going to pop that R in order to get out under turret. And they're going to most likely take this entire wave to allow Gato to take a large amount of turret plating. DVR left alone down in the bot lane, able to sidestep that Thresh Q. And he's going to really have to concede a little bit of his turret, just he doesn't have the firepower currently, especially with that range disadvantage that he has found to be so unfortunate throughout this game so far. Pride is going to be able to take this Rift Herald uncontested, and that most likely will lead to either a free dragon or at least a free tower somewhere around the Rift. Yeah. Yep, that's going to be a lot of momentum for CMU to take advantage of here as the gold lead tries to approach that 10k mark.
As Greyswag here has found himself a very nice target, as he's not going to be able to quite get the kill, utilizing that Thresh Lantern to get out. Greyswag is in a strong spot, as he's going to just de-ward the jungle and go back to farming, as he sort of has to. Mm-hmm. In terms of looking at scaling overall, who do you think scales harder in this matchup?
Currently, I would have to say it's the Kindred. Kindred kind of outperforms all of them, as she is stacking very, very nicely. Normally, I would like to say that Akron has a very nice scaling comp, but that Briar kind of does fall short of what is Kindred's capable of.
Yeah, definitely important to mention that Kindred has 2 items at this point to the Briar's 0, and he has, at this point, he's sold his jungle pet, which means he no longer needs to sustain from using the jungle pet. So he's very far ahead. He's essentially playing towards the mid game, as he is going to get caught out here just a little bit.
He's able to face check that bush with a Briar in it, and somehow will come out.
Pride, it goes legendary, as he's going to go for another one, as that Galio just has nothing to hold the candle, going double kill once again to make it 13-1 on the day. He is just an absolute buzzsaw, and his reputation will hold firm once again today, as Pride and Greyswag moving in tandem with the middle. Pride here is going to just got caught out, though he gives it to the Thresh.
Oh, no.
Which is not what you want to see at all.
Second game in a row that a very big shutdown goes down to the support. Not what you want to see at all from Akron. You want that on your AD carry so that you can hopefully deal a little more damage in those team fights. Not much Thresh can do with that gold other than support, maybe provide a little bit more shielding, a little bit more tankiness. But very unfortunate.
Yeah, that's 1k gold to a champion that doesn't really ever get stronger. I mean, he does get in defense from the souls, but the damage that you're taking is not really physical damage, so it doesn't really help you that much anyway. Let's see. We are going to see a small little, maybe an attempted gank, though. We are going to see the public execution underneath tower. We are going to see a great shout there from Gato as he's going to take out Curse. He's going to get chased down by this Briar, though the Briar does not have a kill yet, and it will once again elude her as it is going to be moved back into the neutral. This Akron team, you can feel like sort of the desperation sort of mounting as they are beginning to make less and less effective plays, as CMU is going to take the third drag of the game and move them to Drake Point.
Yeah, showing 3 top lane there kind of just tells that CMU that, hey, we're going to contest this Drake here, and it's going to be a free Drake. Ash Arrow is going to come out and find the Caitlyn, who is going to shortly cleanse it. Bramble comes out, finding the Galio. Don't think Galio's going to make it out of that.
No, he will not. And Greyswag secures that kill, which is, once again, Greyswag and Pride are moving like Batman and Robin in this series. They are absolutely moving in tandem as he's going to pop Rift Herald mid to really continue to push their momentum this way, utilizing that Rift Herald to smash it into that final tier 3 turret. We're going to see it right there. As we're going to see Cursed here, then the Cho'Gath get caught out a little bit, taking so much damage from it.
Yeah.
And they may be looking for a tower dive. Pride here under turret does have ult to save himself if needed. There it is. As he's going to be able to get out from underneath turret. We are going to see him dive back into the safety of teammates as we are going to see that massive Briar ult. All 5 of them caught in it. But there's just no damage as Pride's going to secure 1. Galio ult also out. Lots of big ults coming out all the way around. As we are going to see a triple kill once again from this Kindred. He is absolutely inevitable in this game.
Yeah, very nice call.
As he's going to secure a Quadra, his second of the game. And this will most likely be the end, sealing CMU's trip to the playoffs for the first time in CMU League of Legends history, as Pride leading the way with Greyson going 19-2 in what could be said might be the greatest performance of the season so far, securing CMU the playoffs.
Yes. Very, very nice game again from Pride there. You know, gotta hand it to Greyswag, still there in the mid lane. 5-0. Did not fall once. You know, remained that pillar that CMU was able to build upon.
I was gonna say, there's a thing to be said for perfect KDA, and he definitely showed why he is that mid laner and why he is so solid. And we are actually we're gonna have an interview with one of them, and we're gonna speak to them about how they think everybody played overall. CMU in a great spot. It was never really in doubt, especially in the second game.
Yes, as they pulled ahead very early on, and you know, I think that first Quadra kill really secured it. Very, very much so.
Second one, just a cherry on top.
Just a cherry on top. As that is Pride's 3rd Quadra kill out of 4 games, I believe.
I was going to say, he's on a roll. Let's see if he can keep that streak going. We're going to hear from the man himself, or we're going to hear from Greyson. One of the two, whoever agrees to come on air with us.
Yes.
And we are going to be right back for that interview. Thank you very much, and please stay with us. And welcome back. I am here with Raspberry, the team's support and sort of glue guy in general. How does it feel to go to playoffs for the first time in this team's very short history?
It feels great, first time this team has been kind of put together. I know, it takes a lot of time out of us, but we're really proud to make it happen. Usually it doesn't happen, a playoff berth in the first 2 weeks. But we are 3-1 now, so it feels really good to make that playoff appearance already this early.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a great time. Now, you already mentioned it, but the record, that is the best record that we have ever had here at CMU for League of Legends. How does it feel that you were a big part of why this team is 3-1?
I mean, it feels great. Coming from last season, I was watching on the sideline from Overwatch. One tower the whole season, not looking great. The bar was low, but we really took it to them today, and I think it's been awesome with this team. I really love these guys, and it's gonna look good for the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's certainly been. And going forward into the rest of the season, how do you guys feel about playing out the rest of your schedule? Because as you guys probably know, it does get significantly more difficult going forward. How do you guys feel about playing out the rest of your schedule?
Well, in the next couple weeks, we have a bye on Monday, so no stream on Monday. But then we do have, I think, Northern Illinois. Yes. They're going to be a pretty tough team, just like the Monday. Definitely winnable. It's always winnable, but it will be a little bit harder. And then Monday comes Western. We might go in person to Western. Maybe not. Maybe so. But it'll be interesting nonetheless. They're also going to be a hard team. But they're definitely beatable. They're about Emerald average.
Oh, yeah,
so definitely. I think they're doable.
Yeah, it's going to be an amazing experience to watch you guys continue to play, and especially if you guys continue to perform like that. The performance from Pride, from you, from Greyswag was it was all brilliant to watch today. And we appreciate you playing and doing all the sacrifice that you do to make yourself so good. Turning to the rest of the week, tomorrow we have your Central Michigan Chippewas back for Valorant, playing against the Akron Zips once more, hoping to knock out that 1-2 punch. We appreciate you guys for watching, and please stay happy and stay healthy, everyone. Have a great day.
Good night.